Hello, and welcome to week 3 of Limburg's Overwatch eSports. Today they will be playing against Waynesville. We are scheduled to start at 4 p.m. Yeah. Still have a bit of waiting to go, though. Looking like... Oh, hello. Waynesville, now in the lobby. We should be about 10 minutes out. Not 10, 5. 5 minutes out. Looks like our first map is Oasis. Waynesville readies up. Looks like Lindbergh needs a little bit more. One more time. And Lindbergh's ready. We're going into the first map on Oasis. Still entering game. Okay. There we go. First map will be City Center. Both teams are building up their team comps. Starting lineup. 5 seconds. Okay. I'm going into this. Oh, okay. I guess I lied. We are on Garden. But starting lineup, leaving spawn, we have Junker Queen on tank, Sojourn and Junkrat on DPS, and Ana and Moira on support. Both teams very talkative in game chat. Both teams playing for point. Junker Queen going in for the Kiri, but Kiri gets out. Gets the pick on the Kiri, but Lindbergh is down. Waynesville will take the first point. Lindbergh coming in here, trying to take back point. Junkrat, or swapping to Reaper. Lindbergh playing neutral. Waiting for the Genji or the oh, Queen going in. Doesn't get a pick. Backs out. Both teams just poking at each other. Not really waiting for a pick on either. Moira going in. Lindbergh is down a player. It's looking good. Gets Genji, gets Reaper. And Queen goes down. Lindbergh takes point. Waynesville with 45 seconds on the board. It is just the DPS on point. And Lindbergh loses point. Unless he can get a touch. No. Both teams regrouping here. Big ultimates are going to be coming from Waynesville this next fight. So will Lindbergh. Oh, hello. That is Kitsune rush from the enemy Kiriko. Winston, oh. Lindbergh's down. And Queen's gonna go down. This is gonna be the last fight for Lindbergh here. Lindbergh's coming back with 4 ultimates. But Waynesville has some of their own. They're gonna need to touch quickly now. Lindbergh's got 5%, 4, 3, 2. That's Rampage! Oh, big ultimate from the enemy Reaper. Queen's staying alive, though. Primal. But Lindbergh's going to go down. And Lindbergh concedes the first point. Good rounds in chat. Turn up a bit. Next map is Library. Lindbergh's going to have to make some character swaps here for this next point. Swapping Ana for Juno. On Cassidy. Coming out of here, we have Junker Queen still. On DPS, we have Reaper and Cassidy. And on support, we now have Moira and Juno. Similar Brawlies type composition. Looks like Lindbergh's going to be taking the white room with the mini in it. By the looks of it, Waynesville still has the same composition they had before. Lindbergh's going in, takes possession of point. Cassidy gets a pick on the Lucio. Genji coming in behind. Gets a pick on the Cassidy, but Junker Queen gets the Reaper. Moira on the Genji. Moira. Nice. Gets a pick on the Genji. Lindbergh's taking first point. Waynesville contesting. Gets the Reaper. Reaper gets the Winston. It's looking good. Lindbergh's going to be coming up on ultimates at the end of the fight. Junker Queen playing aggressive. Genji going in. They swap on the Zarya. Blade coming out from Genji. And that is... Waynesville is going to take point. Lindbergh with maybe 40%... 38% on the first point. That's over a third. Lindbergh is going to be going to this next fight with Coalescence, with Rampage, and Deadeye. That's a Kitsune rush coming from Waynesville. Big Rampage! Getting most of the back line. 2 bubbles come out from Zarya. A lot of stuff's happening. Juno getting a pick on the Genji. Moira getting a pick on the Lucio. And Queen gets a pick on the Reaper. Waynesville's going to come back. Waynesville got 35%, just like Lindbergh did. But Lindbergh now has point. Both teams are going to play neutral here. Waiting for their teams to regroup. Lindbergh at 50% now. Still have ultimates on the board from both teams. That's Deadeye coming out from Lindbergh's Cassidy. Oh, and Death Blossom behind. And Reaper gets 3 picks on Lindbergh. Lindbergh's going to get out and regroup. Lindbergh's going to come in with a Death Blossom of their own here. Lindbergh's nearly 2/3 of the way there. That's Blossom! That's 3 picks for Lindbergh. They're going to take point. Down goes Zarya. Can they get the team kill? That is a team kill for Lindbergh. Taking point. Lindbergh gets 70% on the board. They just need to win one more fight and they win. Lindbergh's going to come in here with a big... Lindbergh has Coalescence. They're going to need to watch out for Lucio's beat and Genji Blade. And Grav. So... That is Grav coming out with a pick on Cassidy. That's Rampage coming out. Down goes Lucio. Lindbergh's in a good position here. Down goes Kiri. It's just Waynesville's going to take this point. Limburg's in a good position here. They're 99% with some key ultimates coming out here. With Colt Lessons, going to have a late Deadeye and a late Ray. Regrouping. We're going to go in with speed from Juno. Oh, that's a Moira gets a pick on the Moira gets a. Oh no, Limburg. They're both even. Still even. Oh no, just Juno on point. It's gonna be close, but Waynesville's gonna take map 1. Good game, well played. The game's not over yet, though. Play of the game from Captain and holy English CNS on Genji. And now we're going on to map 2. Uh-oh. Let's click. One second, please. I accidentally closed out of the game. One second while I get this fixed. Alright, we got that fixed. Limburg figuring out their substitutions for this next map. And what map they want to play. Waynesville bringing in another one of their players. Both teams are still deciding on maps and character bans. Looks like we'll be playing on Shambali Monastery. It shouldn't be too much longer now. Ready check from Waynesville. Limburg banning maps Route 66, Circuit Royale, Watch Point Gibraltar. Waynesville picking Shambali Monastery. Limburg banning Kiriko on support, and Waynesville banning Junker Queen on tank. Both teams are getting ready now. And ready. Entering the game now on Shambali Monastery. Believe Limburg will be defending first. This map has a lot of verticality on its second point, which stalls a lot of pushes usually. The rest of the map is mostly pretty flat. And 1. Yep. Limburg on defense first here. Reminder, this is Escort. Limburg will be trying to stop the payload from reaching its destination. Limburg coming out of the gates here with Hazard on tank, Cassidy and Junkrat on DPS, and Juno and Anna on support. Be interesting how they play this here. And 1. 4 minutes on the board now. Both teams playing neutral here. Waynesville coming out with a pretty brawly comp, which is quite different from the comp they had last time, which favored a faster dive. Hazard with a pick on Genji. Waynesville's getting their payload behind Limburg. Limburg now retaking in front of him, contesting point. Limburg split now, okay. Now regroup together. Both teams now playing neutral. Ana getting a pick on the Lucio. And Hazard coming around looking for a pick on their backline. Gets a pick on the Ana. Cassidy gets a pick on the Reinhardt. Waynesville's now going to look to play more passive here. Both teams retreating into their spawn rooms. Hazard's playing up pretty far, looking to get a pick on the Cassidy. Gets punished hard for it though, and dies. Cass is next to fall, and Limburg's going to be on the back pedal now. Zarya getting a pick on the Ana. Limburg's going to come into this next fight with about 3 or 4 ults here. And hopefully they can get a touch on point to stop them from reaching the first checkpoint. 2 minutes left on the board there. Now, Hazard's going to jump down, but get CC'd. That's a Ray coming out from Limburg. Both teams even now. And Waynesville is on the back pedal. That is a downpour coming from Hazard. Gets it. Oh, just Zarya left. And Limburg stops him from getting payload. That's a team kill. 2 minutes left on the board now. But just 2 meters left to push. Payload's going to start slowly trickling backwards. Both teams are going to play passive here. Limburg now has 3 ultimates on the board now. But Waynesville is going to be coming up on their ultimates. Waynesville is going to get a pick on the Cassidy. And it's looking like, oh, a meter left, and Waynesville is going to get first checkpoint. 3.5 minutes left on the board now. Waynesville's going to push up this choke here. Payload's slowing up. Junkrat's going to go for an off angle, trying to get a pick on the Lucio. Back down main. Waynesville's pushing up, trying to push up down the corner. That is a tire coming from Limburg. Oh, that is a Blossom grab and beat coming from Waynesville. And they are going to get a team kill. Limburg still has a chance here to stop the push before they get to the next checkpoint. Gonna be a close one though. Lemon coming in this next fight with Deadeye. That's a high noon coming out from Waynesville. Doesn't get a pick though. Hazard's gonna fall, and Waynesville's gonna get the next checkpoint. Time added. Now there's now 4 minutes left on the board. Limburg's gonna be on the back pedal. Both teams playing pretty passive here. Zarya's coming in hot. Gets a pick on the Ana. Downpour's going to come down. And does... Oh, that's 3. That's 4. Just Zarya left. That's a team kill for Limburg. 3.5 minutes left on the board here. Limburg's still in this. Limburg coming back to this next fight with 4 ultimates. That is Deadeye coming out from Limburg, but Zarya gets a pick, stopping the Deadeye. And that's a tire coming out from... Tire from Limburg gets a 3K on Waynesville. A tank looking at the Zarya now. Waynesville gets 2 picks. Just Zarya and Cass left. And Cassie gets the Zarya. Waynesville's gonna push it up. Not Limburg doesn't have much room here to work with. Two minutes left on the board. Both teams are going to play pretty neutral here. Waynesville gets a pick on Cassidy. That's Nano Boost coming out from the Ana. Oh, lag spike. Sorry about that. Not looking good. Not looking good for Limburg right now. Just Hazard coming out. Are they going to be able to get a touch on the board? That's a no. Waynesville gets 3 points with 1:40 left on the board. Limburg can still win here. They just have to push it to payload, and then they will go into overtime. 30 seconds now. I think it's important to point out for people who don't know, each character has an ultimate ability. That's what I've been pointing out in between each fight. It's a pretty much fight-winning ability that allows a hero to do a lot. It depends on what hero. Different for everyone. But they're important abilities to look out for. Limburg's going to come out of the board. Come out of spawn with Hazard on tank, Cassidy and May on DPS, and Anna and Juno on support. 15 seconds now. Limburg has quite a ways to push it, but still very possible. And out. Limburg's going to play aggressive. Waynesville's taking a position up on high ground. Hazard's going to look to take the room. Limburg's looking to dive the supports. Gets slept. Hazard's going to look to get out. But dies in the process. Limburg, 3.5 minutes on the board. It's going to backpedal now. Waiting for the team to regroup. No swaps right now. Looks like Limburg's going to take a path around the left side, ignoring objective, but going to try to take high ground. Waynesville was ready for it. All looking down the choke. Hazard's low. Gets a pick on the Junkrat though. Limburg's gonna come around. Both playing pretty neutral now. On the left side, Cass gets left out and dies. Oh, Juno cancels Cassidy's Deadeye, which is his ultimate ability. It allows him to pretty much instantly kill anyone who stays in his line of sight for too long. Waynesville's going to swap to Bastion here for some high DPS on high ground. Hazard's going to get super low and back out. Both teams building their ultimate still. Hazard's going to look for a pick on the Ana, but doesn't find it. Sigma's going to use his ultimate ability, Flux, and gets two picks on the Hazard and May. Limburg's going to now back out. Limburg's going to have access to a lot of their ultimate abilities this fight. I think all 5. Limburg's going to try to take the left side again. That's Nano Boost coming out from Waynesville on Sigma. Cassidy gets a pick on Ana. Limburg gets 2 picks. It's even now. Has coming around. Dies in the duel against Cass. Limburg's pretty split right now. Sigma gets a pick on the Juno. A minute left on the board. That's a Nano Boost from Limburg's Ana. That's another Deadeye. Hazard going in deep and gets picked off. Waynesville looking at Cassidy now. Cassidy falls. Sigma is super low. And Juno gets to pick on the Cassidy. Lindbergh has 30 seconds now. "15 seconds now. Cass is going to go for a flank behind. Looking for a pick on the Ana. Doesn't get it, though. Lindbergh swaps tanks for Orisa. Wu Yang using ult as Flux coming out from Waynesville. So he gets a pick on Orisa, and Waynesville takes map 2. Lindbergh is now 0-2. Still a chance to come back here for the reverse sweep. Play of the game coming out from Barry Bomber on Junkrat. Oh, 2 picks, 3 picks. All right. Both teams are going to get ready for the next map. It's match point for Waynesville. Waynesville with the first subbing out Mustang and Mach Speed. Both teams still picking map and hero bands, deciding on new strategies to try. Looks like we'll be playing Kings Row for map 3. Personally, one of my favorite maps. for round 3. Limburg banning Midtown, Hollywood, and Blizzard World. Waynesville picking Kings Row. Limburg banning Zarya, and Waynesville banning Venture. Should be an interesting game. Both teams are ready. Making swaps now. And entering the game. I'm tired. Limburg will be on defense first. 20 seconds to build their team composition. Limburg coming out of a spawn with Ramatra on tank. Reaper and Cassidy on DPS. And Juno and Moira on support. This first point, and honestly this map overall, favors a very brawly playstyle. With quite a few tight chokes that the team has to push through. First one being this gate that you can see here that Ramatra is sitting at. Quick pick out of spawn from Widowmaker on Cassidy. Reinhardt pushing through the choke pretty quickly. Limburg dropping though. Down goes Ramatra. Limburg's gonna try to get out. Waynesville blitzing through first point, getting it really quickly. Limburg still has a chance to hold here. There's another big choke coming up. Trying to push payload through this first soul choke right here. Choker funnel, whatever you want to call it. Oh, Reinhardt getting a pick on the Reaper, and Widowmaker getting a pick on Moira. Widow's going to also get a pick on Cassidy, and Reinhardt is going to get a pick. And Waynesville is going to stagger Limburg. Ramatra. Limburg's Ramatra. 5 minutes on the board. Waynesville at about 30 meters now. Looks like we're going to swap tanks here. Swapping to Ana. Off of Juno. Limburg's going to push up, taking space from Waynesville. Reaper getting a pick on the Widowmaker, but Reaper's going to get punished for getting pushed or pushing. Reaper getting a pick on Cassidy. Limburg's going to fall. Waynesville making it to the second checkpoint. 5.5 minutes on the board. Final push here. Limburg's coming out with about 4 ultimates now. Ramatra looking at the Widowmaker but doesn't get it. Zen using Tranquility. Waynesville's going to get picks on Limburg. Ram's going to fall. Limburg's going to have to prepare for about the final fight here. Still have a bunch of ultimates to use. They're going to have Blossom, too. That's Shatter coming out from Reinhardt. Getting picks on both the DPS. That's Beat and Nano coming out from Waynesville. And in for Sight and Blossom. A lot of ultimates being used here. That's 3 kills for Limburg. Ryan's going to push Ramatra out. With less than a meter on the board, Limburg has pushed Waynesville out. Reaper getting a pick on the Widowmaker. Very big for Limburg there. Both teams playing for this objective. Reaper's going to come in the back line with a big Death Blossom, getting 2 picks and forcing Waynesville back even more. Widowmaker's going to get a pick on the Moira. Both teams coming back here. Ooh, Reinhardt getting a big shatter on 2 of Limburg's players. Both teams here struggling for the point. Waynesville getting super low. And Cassie's going to come out. Maybe get a touch. But he does not. Waynesville has 3 minutes on the board. Limburg is going to go on the attack. Limburg needs to push it. Limburg needs to push the cart all the way to the end to enter overtime. Still very possible. Still very possible. On attack now. Looking like we'll be keeping a very, very similar comp to last time. Except for Reinhardt subbing in for Ramatra.
Is there nothing you can do for this pain?
Think of it as fuel beneath the flames of your vengeance. I offer something more.
5 seconds now. Reaper coming in aggressive. Sitting at the choke. Widowmaker gets a pick on the Moira. Limburg's Moira. Widowmaker kills Cassidy too. Reaper's going to go in, trying to get a pick on the Widowmaker, but has to fade out. Both Reinhardt's in a lock here. Reinhardt gets a pin on Limburg. Limburg's going to have to backpedal here. Both teams playing very neutral here. Shatter coming out from Waynesville's Reinhardt. Both team pinned here. Limburg has a good chance of getting the Reinhardt, but doesn't. Waynesville backs up. Soj getting a pick on the Mercy. Not Mercy, what? Moira. And Limburg's going to have to back up, you know. 2.5 minutes left. Limburg is coming out with Nano and Shatter. Those two ultimates work really well together when used as a combo. Looks like Ana's going to Nano the Reaper here. Nano coming out from Waynesville. Both teams. Reinhardt displacing Limburg here, and Reinhardt's gonna fall. 2 minutes left on the board. I dare say Limburg's gonna need a switch up in either team composition or strategy to get through this choke. Teams grouping up, deciding on strategies. Okay. Coming out, we're coming up with 2 ultimates here. Shadow coming out from Limburg and Moira using Coalescence. Limburg's up 2 now. Shadow coming out from Waynesville. Ooh, and Limburg getting a pick on the Reinhardt. Limburg's going to start pressuring point, getting the Moira. Almost a team kill there. Waynesville, I don't believe, is going to be able to touch in time. A minute left on the board. Very nice. 3 minutes now. This is the other big choke that's pretty difficult to get through sometimes. Both teams playing pretty neutral here, building ultimates. Limburg swapping to Bastion. Widowmaker getting a kill on Moira. Reinhardt trying to force his way through the choke. Doesn't work though. Has to back up. Still, both teams playing pretty neutral here. 2.5 minutes left. Limburg's coming out with Blossom and Nano. Oh, and Artillery and Coalescence. That's Shatter coming out from Waynesville. And Coalescence coming out from Limburg. And Nano. Gets a pick on the Reinhardt. Shatter coming out from Limburg. Waynesville's going to have to back up here now. They're separated. Gets a pick on the Wu Yang. 2 minutes left. Limburg making their way through their first choke. That's like the 2 most difficult points there, so Limburg has a good chance here. Coming out with Blossom and Artillery. Waynesville is going to play passive there. Trying to get his team back. It's Infrasight coming out from Widowmaker. Reinhardt's playing aggressive. Limburg's doing pretty good. And Limburg gets that checkpoint. 2.5 minutes left. Looking pretty good for Limburg here. Oh, Reinhardt going really aggressive here. Gets a pick on the Waynesville's Reinhardt. Shatter coming out. Doesn't have any cooldowns. That's a big Blossom there. Blossom, I believe Nano came out that fight. Good picks there. Limburg coming out with Coalescence. Waynesville's going to have to touch pretty quickly now. Limburg might be able to get it. Limburg, Waynesville's coming out really, really low from the Coalescence. Pick on Baptiste. Reinhardt, no. Just Reaper on point. Okay. Waynesville gets the team killed there. Limburg still has a minute and a half left. I believe this is going to be about the last fight. This is for all the marbles, really. If they win here, they have a chance to come back in a reverse sweep. However, if they can't get this point here, it's all over. Minute left. That's Blade coming out from Waynesville, but doesn't get a pick. Dies pretty early to Ana. Reinhardt playing aggressive here, gonna look for a pretty late shatter. $40 left, still contesting. That's Nano Boost coming out from Limburg. Gets a big shatter there. Limburg wins that. Waynesville that's not gonna have a touch. And that's a team kill. Good round. They're going into overtime now. Limburg has a minute on the board. Waynesville has 3.5. So very possible, very possible. Limburg, I believe, is going to be on the attack now. I don't know. I feel a reverse sweep coming. The momentum's going to take them. 45 seconds now. Limburg's going to keep the exact same team comp they had before. Overtime is pretty much the same. However, teams do not get time added on once they reach checkpoints. So Limburg will have to stay on the objective pretty much this whole fight.
Think of it as fuel beneath the flames of your vengeance.
10 seconds now. Got this. And out the gate. The final minute. This will pretty much decide if they still have a chance in this series. Playing still pretty passive now. Both teams, I think it's pretty much a mirror matchup. Limburg's gonna try and go in aggressive, but gets pretty low. Last chance now. 30 seconds left. Limburg's got to go pretty quick. Reinhardt falls to Limburg falls to holy English. Waynesville's Reinhardt gets a pick on the Bastion. 10 seconds left now. Maybe one sneaky push behind. If they can just get a touch on point. That's Moira on point behind. Moira gets a touch. No! Half a meter off that touch. I'm not too sure what happens if they draw here, but Limburg could stall them and hold them off point. They just have to stall them for a minute and a half. I actually don't know what the rules say if we draw here. It won't go into another round, I don't believe. I believe it'll end in a draw. Curious. Maybe it will go into double overtime. I'm not too sure. 5 seconds now. Limburg is going to have to completely secure and defend this objective here. They can't allow a single tick on point. Coming out, still have the same team comp as last time. Limburg's going to have to watch out for the Widowmaker again. I think I can see her in the window up there. Widowmaker has gotten a lot of value with her picks out of spawn. They had it, but Reinhardt was ready, sending a fire strike down to the doorway. Waynesville's going to get 2 picks on Limburg here. They're down. It's still winnable, though. Limburg gets forced off point. And I believe that is a win for Waynesville. I couldn't think there. That is a good game. Play of the game coming out from Captain CSN on Genji, getting a 4K. Actually, that's a 5. All right. Tough loss, but both teams were 2-0, I believe, making Limburg 2-1. Anyways, we'll see y'all next week. Let's hope for a